I'll tell you that none of the men were motivated to sign up until I added a spectator gallery and handed out free tickets to all the wives and girlfriends and even the contestants for the Possum Lake Miss Teen pageant.
What? It's Miss Teen pageant. Girls are going to be there.
Yeah. Except for Miss Congeniality. She was just a little too bubbly for our crowd. But, you know, knowing that the women were going to be there really got the men interested in showing off their manhood. I think it's safe to say that anybody who's not cliff diving is probably not a real man. Hey, handyman. You know, I know a lot of the power tools come with a button on the side so that you can lock them in the on position, but I wouldn't advise it. Well, as I tried to warn you earlier in the show, this week's Adventures with Bill, Bill's going to try and work his way... Yeah, nice dive, Bill. Bill's going to try and work his way up to the cliff diving contest, so he thought he'd just try diving off the dock there and must have hit something that he'd eaten. Now, this chair here, he thought he'd get up on the chair and dive, which I wasn't too excited about this. That's a family heirloom. It's been in my family since the trailer burned down. Come off the edge there. Oh, you wonder why he needed me to hold it. Oh. Well, thank you, Bill. Bill. Oh, boy. So, going well, as usual. Anyway, I got the chair all fixed up. No. That was a waste of time. All right, so now what Bill's going to do, next step up, next phase 3, I guess, is to go off the ladder. To me, I'm noticing, boy, he's got that ladder awfully close to the edge, and we do try to be a little bit safety conscious, as you know, up here, or at least conscious, up here at the lodge, and I'm saying to Bill, get her right back, but, you know, the thing with safety is, you know, you can be actually too safe, and... Yeah, I'm thinking, you know, we may have pulled her back a little too far. Oh, yeah. But anyway, for whatever reason, maybe because he banged his head or whatever, he's decided he's now ready to attack the cliff up at Rock Reef Point. So, he's going to need the rope, yeah, and he wants me, yeah, all right. Well, at this point, I kind of want to see how it turns out. And I hope you do, too. Now, the thing with Rock Reef Point, it's just a beautiful piece of geography up there. It's, of course, got the inside the reef, and there, I was a little tired of that. Anyway, but then there's the rock, and there's the reef, as I mentioned, and then there's a point. You don't see the point unless you get a close-up of Bill's head, but now he's going to... Too hard. I just throw this up. They had a small loop, but the loop was too small on the rope to hook around the stump. We were trying to use the rope to pull ourselves up. But, you know, every rope has two ends. It's on the other end is a much bigger loop. This is going to work great, we think, and... Bill's real good with the ropes and so on. There we go. Look at that. Unbelievable. So he's all set, and up we go, and I'm starting to see why mountain climbing is so dangerous. Anyway, we get up there, and finally get up to the top hill. That was a heck of a climb, and I thought, gee, you know, what I should do is pull that rope up there and get that out of his way, and because what I'd forgotten was, that the rope still had that small loop on the end. Bill has kind of an unorthodox approach to his dives. No, he's ready. And unfortunately, this foot went into that small loop, and now the problem is the rope is not as long as his dive.
Welcome to the expert portion of the show. On this week's expert portion of the show, we have experts. My Uncle Red and his good friend, Edgar Montrose. First letter goes as follows. Alrighty, dear experts, I took my children to a movie recently, and I was disgusted by the language and the nudity. And that was just in the car beside us. The movie was far too violent for children or seniors or anyone who hadn't spent time in either prison or the Navy. How can we at Hollywood to clean up its act? Signed, Offended.
Well, I agree with this viewer. I'm telling you, my wife Bernice dragged me out to see that Mary Poppins a few years ago. Man, talk about offensive. I thought I was going to get diabetes. They started singing that supercalonarcoleptic extra halitosis. I just about lost my licorice nibs.
I'll tell you what's wrong with movies. They give the kids a false sense of reality. Like that movie Speed when the bus blew up. You never get that much flame. They showed it as a big fireball, but a real bus explosion is all smoke and mirrors. I know. I was the mechanic at a bus company for a couple of days.
Well, I would like to caution our viewer, there have been some great movies made that are both educational and uplifting.
Yeah, in the old days. Like The Bridge Over the River Kwai. Did you see that baby go up at the end? And the train went crashing into the river? Won an Oscar for Best Picture. But that one now, Bridges of Madison County. I waited for one of those bridges to go up, but none. And I wasn't the only one disappointed. Everybody in the theater was crying by the end. Movies today just don't deliver.
I do have to disagree with you there, because there have been some great films made. You know, like Forrest Gump, The Piano, Dances with Wolves.
I saw that one. Now, the native guy was okay. Should have got the Oscar. But the rest of it was a yawn. Now, what they needed there was one of those buffalo to get backed up with methane. He'll catch his hoof on a piece of flint and go off like a big furry grenade. Kaboom! Talk about your burgers to go.
Harold! Come here, give me that manual. Give me that manual. Look at that, all-terrain vehicles, sand, gravel, lakes. What? Frozen lakes. Oh, frozen. Okay, I might have jumped the gun a bit on that. What time do we have to get it back to the rental place?
Little advice for any planning some kind of an event for your next family reunion. I would suggest you don't make it a cliff diving contest.
These are real men. You want to know what real men do? They climb to the top of Rock Reef Point in a selection of bathing suits you do not want to see in a full stomach. And each and every one of them chickened out. So a bunch of the women, they climbed up to the top of the point, you know, and started diving off just to show up the men.
I knew we were in trouble when Moose Thompson's mother did a belly flop from the top of Rock Reef Point. Man, it brought the house down and part of the lodge, actually. Boy, did she hit the water. Port Asbestos hasn't had that much rain in 12 years.
Well, it only goes to prove, I guess, there's no real men left in these parts.
Well, yeah, there are, but a lot of them are women, unfortunately.
That's meeting time, Uncle Red.
Yeah, you go get dried off, Harold.
Yeah.
I'll kind of meet you down there. If my wife is watching, I'll be coming straight home after the meeting, and I'm hoping maybe you can make the neighbors come over another night, you know. Maybe I'm not a real man, but I am real tired and not real interested in being real sociable. For the rest of you, thanks for watching. On behalf of myself and Harold and the whole gang up here at Possum Lodge, keep your stick on the ice. Harold has something he wanted to say to all you guys while you're all here.